What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Let's Build series. Although this is going to be done full in creative mode, I do hope that you guys enjoy it. And, well, to do this series, we're going to start off with a really simple project, and that is we are going to be building a village using essentially everything in the vanilla palette. So anything that you would find in an actual vanilla village is what I want to be using for this. However, I'm going to be making this look dramatically different from an actual village. And I mean, I've outlined everything, like right here, the church, well, the green marker with the white line is going to be the church. Right where we are right now, there's going to be stairs. And I'm currently building the bridge. Now, I don't know why, but anytime I start building something like a village, I want to have a bridge. So I went ahead and started off with that. Now, this bridge is a really simple bridge, but it's one that I honestly liked as I got done with it. It's a really simple design, but you don't have to go overboard to make something look nice. I mean, currently I'm just using the oak logs with spruce planks, because I feel like they complement each other really well. And just some more logs down the middle to actually split it all up. Oh yeah, and the other thing on this, where this town is located, it rains a lot. I end up having to switch it over a lot, so just give it a minute and I'll end up switching it over here in a minute. But right now I'm kind of just laying out markers for where I'm going to have kind of like a border to the fence. You'll see why here in a second. It just does make it look really, really nice. And it's one of those things where just adding a little bit on top does make things look a lot better. Anyway, so the plans with this village, I don't fully know how much I want to do. I do have everything outlined to the point where after this, we're going to be building a farm with, I don't know what's happened with the camera here, but it's my first time using the replay mod. Anyway, we're going to have a farm, and right next to it, there's going to be a windmill. And I'm hoping that looks really, really nice, because it's my first time kind of building a lot of this stuff. Except for this bridge. I've built this bridge in the past, and that's why I'm going with this design, is because I like it. So you can see it's really, really simple, but when you see it, you'll see it when it's done. That's the point of this. When it is all done, you'll see it and you'll see why I like it. Because it's simple, but it looks really nice. It's actually one of those things you could definitely build in survival right off the bat without having to gather too many resources, because it is, again, super easy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to this other than this is my first time using the replay mod, which is what I'm using to record all this. So I do apologize if the camera work isn't that great. I'm just right here just to give it more of a shape rather than just boxing it in. Just a little hook with some fence posts. I believe I add lanterns to that at the end. And right here just some more decoration up top, just a look inside of it. Which I really liked how that turned out. Anyway, right here I was just trying to decide if I needed more detailing on the sides, and honestly I didn't like how that looked, so I kept it simple just with the logs. So I took all the fencing out. And again, when it comes to building, it's one of those things where it's trial and error. Like right here I was seeing which one I would like better. Again, I like the spruce better. I feel like that's because I used spruce for the base of the bridge, so obviously that's the one I was going to end up going with. But then I think I replaced everything with spruce, didn't I? No, I started working on the fencing. Alright, so here I started using different types of fencing. I used the cobblestone, the mossy cobblestone, and the andesite fencing, I do believe. And my main whoa, okay. Fires everywhere. And my main purpose for the mossy cobblestone had to do with the fact that it's always raining, so naturally it would end up leading to something mossy. As you can see, I'm really liking the shape because I didn't do the curves on this before. It's my first time actually doing it that way. And again, just adding a little bit more detail. As you can see, I like mixing in different blocks because it can make buildings look like weathered, worn, like they've been there for a while, which makes things look a lot more. To me, it looks a lot nicer, like right there with the andesite wall, it looks like the cobble's been worn off of it. Which, it's a little itty bitty detail, but it honestly makes a big difference rather than just having it all be cobble. Oh, and as you can tell, a lot of things are in 3D, and that's because I am using the 3D texture pack, which when you add it on top of the Optifine and the shader pack that I have on, which I can't remember which one it is, but you get this gorgeous look, which is what I forgot to tell you guys, is that I am playing with the shaders pack. So all of this looks really, really amazing, and I figured it'd be a lot more enjoyable. Anyway, right here, I was trying to decide what to do for the supports, because just having the bridge hang like this, it doesn't look good at all. It honestly looks really out of place. So you want to have something underneath the bridge to look like it's being held up with something, unless you're doing a suspension bridge, of course. But I had a hard time deciding what I liked, because I did a couple wooden designs and none of them looked good, if I'm being honest. I didn't like how any of them were looking. So I did end up scrapping all this, and it's something that I'm going to go ahead and get back to on a later episode, but as of right now, I did nothing for the supports because I didn't like the way they were looking. It just didn't look right. I was using wood and to me it looked gross basically. Like it just didn't look good. So I did go ahead and leave those there, but I ended up moving on to the next part of this build, which was the stairs at the other end. And as you can see, just with the lighting from the shader pack, I think our bridge looks really, really good right there. I was going to add lanterns to the bottom of the top block on all of them, but I didn't know how that would look, so I just went ahead and didn't do it. Makes perfect sense. Well, anyway, here we are just working on the stairs, which I kept to a really, really simple design, but one I hadn't really worked with before, and that's kind of a spiral, but not really a spiral, just kind of like a blocked out spiral, which was relatively different for me because I wasn't really used to doing this, and it started overlapping on my other builds. But I did like the way that it ended up looking, which again, just mixing in different blocks into whatever you're building gives it a much nicer look. And right here, it's just a matter of actually making sure everything was level, because with something like this, you want it to be symmetrical. That way it looks nice. And this is what I mean again right here. This one kind of overlaps into the house right there. I don't know why I took those out if I was just going to put them back in to do the stairs again, I'll be honest. It was just a brain fart moment. But yeah, so that's really the gist of it, because you got the stairs. After this, I ended up just decorating, well, not really decorating, but adding blocks to it, like right here, the logs to show the framing essentially, which always looks nice having a little bit of frame. And taking out the dirt so it doesn't just look like it's on top of it, it looks like it goes all the way underneath. Little details like that actually make a big difference to me. So I feel like those details are what end up making your build actually worthwhile. And it makes it more attractive to look at, essentially. So you can see right here, I'm still doing the same thing just in the corners. Because again, I feel like it looks really nice, and it's a nice mix-up from the block that I'm going to end up using here in a second. But yeah, just making sure you use more than one kind of block for your builds is ultimately yeah, I don't know what else to say to that point, because just right here you'll see me adding those logs all the way through, again overlapping into where the houses are going to be, which is the orange parts. I'm sure you guys saw this at the beginning, but everywhere there was any kind of, I want to say it's concrete that I put down, is basically outlining where houses, buildings, the farm, windmill, and all that stuff is going to be. Because it's good to have a plan when you're doing all this, just to make sure everything actually looks super nice. Otherwise you're kind of just figuring it out as you go, and then it can still look nice, but it's nicer to have a plan going into it. Which as you can see, this thing's already taking shape and it looks relatively good as it is, but I did want to add a little more to fill it in because I just wasn't happy with it. So I went ahead and used, I want to say it was spruce logs, and started leveling it, adding kind of like a railing to it, right? Just to give it it's a better look if you ask me, just because it doesn't look so naked, which is a weird thing to say about a structure. But just the way, like the centerpiece you see right there, there's none of those spruce logs and it does look naked. Like, it doesn't look bad, but let's be honest, it's not really attractive to look at, and I do want this village to look really, really nice. And the weird thing is that even though I want this village to look really, really nice, I started off with a bridge, which is really weird. I really don't know why. But that's what I did. So we started off with the bridge and these stairs. But the end result looks really nice. Let's see, the next part, as I already said, I do plan on doing a farm and a windmill. And that's just going to be a pain in the butt. Because I don't know if you guys saw it at the beginning, but I have to basically go underwater and fill that area up with water to allow the crops to grow underneath. Oh, I like how this looks. Forgot how good of a shot that was. Oh, and I ruined it. But no, yeah, so going back to this build, just little things like that. I mean, here in a minute I'm gonna end up taking out some of the spruce logs and filling them in with spruce planks, again to add more texture to it, just so it doesn't look bland. I don't know, one of these things when it comes to building, I want it to look really nice, but I also don't want it to look flat. That's why I ended up adding a lot of shapes, like on the bridge, the cobblestone that's not even connected to the fencing, but is on the outside of the logs with the torch on top. Just gotta make sure I tell you guys which one it is. I like adding stuff like that just because it makes it gives it more dimension than it has originally. And I know it's not much, but it's something that does make it look a lot better. Like right here, you'll see what I mean as I'm building up these spruce logs. It just looks flat. Like the whole thing, like in the front, right? It looks nice, but it looks flat. That's something that I'd like avoiding just because, well, as I always tell people, details matter. And right here I just ended up having to plan out what I was going to be doing for this area just because it did look flat. Ultimately, I decided to do something kind of like I did with the bridge with that hook. So I added some, sorry, my throat's dry. Just added some more logs to the outside and then more down the middle. Just to give it more of a shape, right? Like it didn't really do much. It still looks, I'm still not too happy with the way it looks, but it looks a lot better than it did when it was flat. And then it's just a matter of doing the exact same hook design that we did on the bridge. Oh, and real fast, I do have to apologize for the camera work here, because the replay mod only lets me, it's only letting me work with the first 30 minutes of any build. After that, I kind of have to free cam it. So I do apologize if the camera comes off as super shaky and it's not that great. I mean, I did get a couple videos recorded. I had to use this method, but in the future I'm going to try to limit all my builds to within 30 minutes just so we can get the good camera work that you guys saw in the beginning. Yeah, here's the part where I mean where I was cutting out some spruce logs to add in texture, just so it does look nice. I mean, as you can see with the hook, I did give it more filler. I don't know if that's what you would call it. Essentially made it look thicker, so it does look a little different from the actual hooks on the bridge. But all in all, I'm not too mad with how this looked at the end. Because I really didn't go in with much planning for this. I kind of just started building, and the way that it turned out is something that I am really pleased with. So right here I just ended up building the bases of all the houses. I planned on doing like a stone base for all the houses, building that up like 3 levels, and from there making it so I could build the actual house on top. Because I've seen a lot of medieval designs and they kind of have like a base of some kind, and then on top of that it seems to be where the actual house is. So that's essentially what I'm going for here. And although this is all, I'm using cobblestone for now, I do go back and randomly take out pieces and fill it in with mossy cobblestone, andesite, polished andesite, just to give it that worn and weathered look, because again, that makes it look really nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, because that's what I end up doing for the rest of this video, really. It's kind of just filling that in. Alright, so since we're basically here, I might as well just say I hope you guys enjoyed, well, the first part. There's more parts to come, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. So there'll be more parts coming out real soon. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. That's like the 5th time I've said that. I gotta cut that out. See you guys next time.